If any of these work out, I will eat my hat. Well and truly stuck. So the weather forecast for this morning is supposed to be snowfall. Sunrise is at 8:30, it's now 7:45, so I've got 45 minutes before we get any good light, so I'm just relaxing in the van, waiting for to become a bit more ambient light so I can scout this area and find some locations to shoot. But yeah, what a great way to spend the morning. So the first snowflake has just fallen. So this is it, it's starting to snow. Oh, this is very exciting. Haven't found a composition yet, but to be honest, I don't care. Just walking around an empty woodland in the snow is it's magical. Who needs a photograph? No, we'll see if we can find a photograph. Just need to find a good composition. So the snow seems to have turned quite blizzard-like. The snowflakes aren't big and lofty, they're quite small and heavy, which isn't good. But it's still nice. I haven't found a composition or anything to shoot on this footpath which I've explored. I've wanted to explore for a while, but that's okay. There is another area of the forest that I have been to before that I really think will work well in snow. So whether or not this is the right type of snow remains to be seen. So I think I'm going to head back to the van and just go to a different area of the woodland and see what I can find over there, because I think this snow is only set to stick around for a couple of hours. Right. It's funny how when you stop looking for photographs you start to see compositions. So I was just walking back to the van and minding my own business, having a bit of a daydream, and just walked past this gap in the forest here between these trees, and I've noticed this lovely, possibly, I don't know, we'll see, but there's this really nice symmetry, this lovely abstract symmetrical composition with the branches coming in from the left and the branches coming in from the right, and the snow on those branches, and in the background is completely dark, so you get that contrast, and I think this might work well as a lovely black and white, so I think I'm going to set up and get the shot. It's definitely a bit of an experiment, bit of an abstract, bit of a, don't definitely know this is going to work, so we'll see what happens. So this is I don't know. I still don't know if this is going to work, even though I've got the camera completely, framed up and my composition all set. I just think it's going to be one of those images that is really going to come to life in Lightroom, in the edit suite, when I process it. But we'll see. I like the abstract shape to it. I like the way the branches come in from either side, and I think the falling snow adds to a lot of atmosphere. I've got my aperture at f5.6 and I'm on ISO 320, and I'm shooting this at about 1/8 of a second, which is actually a longer shutter speed than I would prefer. I would like to get this to about a 20th, 30th or 40th of a second, but it's just too dark and I'll have to ramp up my ISO, and I don't think the reduction in quality is really worth the difference that that will make. So we still can see the falling snow with 1/8 of a second. Yeah, so it's really nice. No filters or anything like that. It's all quite straightforward. I'm shooting this at about 100 mil, and yeah, this is it. This is first image of the day, first snowfall image, and it's not at all what I had in mind. But I think it's important with photography to stay open-minded and keep your eyes peeled. So I'm going to take this image. It's lovely. It's a gorgeous morning, even though we're getting covered in snow. And whether or not this works, I don't know. I'll let you decide. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Don't be too harsh. Don't be too harsh. Okay, here we go. 2-second timer. F5.6. And that's that. It is what it is. The snow seems to have turned into a bit of a blizzard now. The wind's picked up and it's coming down quite heavy. So I'm taking shelter in the van, which is quite nice. I think what I'll do is I'll stick around this area, see if I can find a second composition, because I don't want to go too far from the van. Everything's getting wet. And yeah, it's quite brutal out there. And then if I can't find anything close to the van, I think I will drive down to a second location in this woodland that I know, and see if we can get something down there. It has been a while since I've had this camera out. I suppose I've just been waiting for the right conditions. Maybe I've just been procrastinating. So I'm not entirely sure how wise this is. Everything's getting really wet, including this camera, and this is getting wet, and I always seem to choose difficult conditions to shoot film. I don't know why this is, but I'm sort of committed now. I've taken my meter reading, and yeah, I'm just gonna get the shot and then get this back in the dry. So this is the composition I found. We have these lovely trees covered in snow, and see this one tree here that kind of arcs over to one side. That's what caught my eye. It was the orange bark and the contrast in the white snow. I've set up the Intrepid 4x5 large format camera, but I'm going to be honest with you, it was set up in a rush because the snow is coming down and then it's melting, everything's getting really wet, and it's just difficult. It's really difficult conditions to work in. I'm pretty sure that large format's not supposed to be photographed like this. So I'm going for a 6-second exposure. I'm shooting Fuji Velvia 100, and I'll probably take 2 images, one at 6 seconds and one at 4 seconds, because snow can be tricky, and I've rushed this. I'm going to be honest, I've rushed it. But let's just get this shot, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, it's fun to try. Okay. There we go. 6 seconds, Fuji Velvia 100. May as well do the second sheet. Okay, second sheet of Fuji Velvia 100, f32. 4 seconds this time. Simple as that. If any of these work out, I will eat my hat. Oh. Okay, so I think that was a bad idea. I really think that was a bad idea. Yeah, I suppose you'll wait for the snow to stop, but I don't think the snow is going to stop. I just think it's going to turn into rain. So, yeah, I know, maybe those images came out. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to drive back down the forest track to another location. But I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I'm going to make it, because this snow is now quite thick. And I've only had this van for a few days and I've yet to put winter tyres on. So this might be a bit of an adventure. Let's see. I always tell people to put winter tyres on, always. Yeah, I've not done it myself. She's doing it, she's doing it. She's going up the hill. Come on. Well and truly stuck. Sliding backwards down the hill, which is terrifying. I need to very, very, very gingerly edge the van back, and I'm talking like 1 meter per minute or something, really slow. So, made it down the hill, but I'm not getting back up. So I think we'll just call it a day. Looks like I've stayed here for a while, but this does give me a great opportunity to talk about the van. So there's a lot I'd love to say about this van, but I am going to save that for another video because the van is still not finished and we're going to talk about all of that in the future. Hopefully not too far away. But what I would like to say is one of the biggest problems I had with this van was insuring it, because not only is it a camper van, it's a Ford Transit Custom, and I'm a self-employed photographer. Insurance companies don't like those combinations. They don't want to insure photographers, they don't want to insure Transit Customs, and they certainly don't want to insure Transit Customs that have been converted to a camper van that are owned by a self-employed photographer. So that was a heck of a challenge, but I managed to find an insurance company, Comfort Insurance, who insured me, and they're so good. Why am I talking about Comfort Insurance, you may be thinking? Well, as part of my insurance policy, I got breakdown cover. Now, I'm not broken down, but I am stuck in the snow. So I called my insurance company, Comfort, who were very comforting, and straight away they hooked me up with the recovery company, and they're going to send a vehicle within the next 2 hours, which is pretty good going, I think, considering I am in the middle of nowhere. So I'm so impressed with them. They were so helpful, so understanding, and bosh, straight through. So considering the difficulties I had getting this bad boy insured, and considering that they insured me and they were helpful, and now they've rescued me from the snow, I am going to recommend that if you have a motorhome or a camper van, you need to get it insured with Comfort Insurance. There you go, that's my way of saying thank you for rescuing me out of the snow. Just got a phone call from the recovery, and I can see them. They're just at the top of the hill there, but they can't get down because I'll show you the problem. Now, I know that it's only like 4 inches of snow. That's not the problem. It's what's underneath the snow that's the problem. Compact, solid ice. So I just spoke to the 4x4 rescue guy, and I am a special case.
What an absolute idiot!
Oh!
Oh my.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! How did that not hit? How did that not hit? Just
Jeez. When you put it into the thing, I'm amazed.
Oh, it's been a long day, but to cut a long story short, I got rescued, sort of. I was on the back of that big 4x4 monster truck. We were heading up the hill, it was all going well. Then a police car comes down the hill, out of control, sliding. So we had to ditch the car off into a bank on the left-hand side, which meant that we got stuck, my van got even more stuck, and then the police car just narrowly avoided my van and then got stuck. And then this other 4x4 came up to try and help, and he got stuck and blocked the way. And because this whole rigmarole was going on, the massive monster truck just decided he'd had enough and he's left me. So now I'm just here and I'm gonna spend the night. I think I've got some food on the go, gonna have a cup of tea, and yeah, it should be okay. A policeman's just knocked on the door 10 minutes ago. He's gonna go and speak to some local farmers, see if we can get a tractor. If they do, they do. If they don't, I'm fine. I'll wait here till tomorrow morning and either hope for a rescue tomorrow or a defrost. Yeah. By the way, totally my fault. Please, I do not need any comments about how I should have winter tyres. I know this, okay? I know this more than anyone. Anyway, I'm gonna relax and eat some food.